Hey, Mariah.
I think, yeah.
Mariah, what happened to like you wanting 26 kids?
Micah, shut up. That was back when I was like 10 and I didn't know any better. I thought everybody had big families.
So Mariah, I want to start with you. You and Max seem to still be going super strong. I'm a big fan of this relationship. So how is it going? You guys seem so in love.
Yes, it's plain heaven. Like, that's the only word I can describe it with, because like I've never felt anything better. I've never experienced anything better. And he gives me the feeling that I have like never had my entire life. Just feeling wanted and special, and yeah.
That's awesome. I know in the first episode, we see you guys preparing for your 1-year anniversary. I don't want to spoil what he gives you, but how did you celebrate? What can you tell us?
That's a good question. It was a big milestone for being a 1 year, and we both just kind of wanted to make it special, and so we did something special for each of each other, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Who's the more romantic one of you two?
Honestly, I don't know. I think I would say he is, and he would say I am. So like, I don't know.
Good balance. I know you're still so young, but do you guys ever talk about down the road wanting to get married, wanting to start a family with each other?
Yes. Early on in the relationship, after I had kind of like got over a lot of the areas that I was still holding back, because like I've discovered so much about myself in this relationship and issues that I had and strengths I have. And one of the things was just that I was really scared to let anybody in. Like, as soon as they got too close, I would resist it just naturally, because I was too scared of somebody knowing me for who I am. And I kind of, once I overcame that, then we kind of just completely opened up, and we were like, you know what, there's never too much you can talk about. Like, you can never, before anything serious or when you're getting into something serious, you can never talk too much about anything. So we're just like, all right. And now it's like, okay, but I didn't need to know that. Like, you're sharing too much now.
Do you see yourself marrying him? Do you think he's the one?
If it's not him, I'll just like be single for the rest of my life. So.
Micah, would you like to see him as part of the family?
I do. I really like Max. He's an all-around a good guy and super fun and chill to hang out with. He and I have kind of like bonded and it's become kind of close. It's like another brother.
Yeah, it seems like it. Seems like you guys have a great bond.
That makes me so happy.
Aw. Your parents seem to love him too, which, you know, as a fan, we weren't sure if they were going to be supporting a relationship that you guys were in. So why do you think that he clicks with the family?
I think the main thing is just that he's a really likable person. You can't not like him. He's so happy, and he doesn't bring like, he's kind of a problem solver instead of a problem creator instead. So I don't know. I feel so lucky to, with all the drama, all the differences in my family, have found somebody that, yeah, it's not like, I mean, honestly, like none of my family has ever had a problem with him. None of my family has ever hinted that like they don't like him or anything like that. So I just feel so lucky to have found somebody that kind of, with all the differences, can go with it and kind of just is like, no, I'm going to be me. You guys, if y'all don't like it, then oh well.
Yeah.
I think you were lucky to find someone who would put up with your family.
That.
Since they have a lot going on.
That's so true.
Why are you comfortable now? What changed that you're comfortable enough to kind of show a little bit of PDA with Max in front of your family?
I think that just all along I knew that growing up, what my family had wasn't something that I wanted. So from a really young age, I already had in my head something else. So it wasn't like weird when it actually came to me.
Okay. That makes sense.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Micah, I think you're single right now. Is that true? Still single?
That is correct.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable bringing someone home that you're dating?
Honestly, it's happened a couple times, and one time it didn't go so well. The other time it was decent. And right now I'm just waiting for like a really good person, the perfect person, basically.
So it has to be worth it.
Besides that, it's not really worth introducing someone that's doesn't have potential to my family.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm really just waiting to settle down a little bit. I don't know, just get a little more. I don't want to say based in reality, but just a little more settled and
a little more mature, maybe.
Hey.
Sorry.
I know, you guys, I love how you finish each other's sentences.
No, it's just like, I'm young.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of time. Enjoy being single while I have the chance. Because once I meet someone who I really like, I'm not going to be single for forever. So.
Totally. Moriah, do you ever worry about that maybe, you know, it sounds like Max is the one for you, but do you ever worry that he was your first kiss? Should you branch out more? Should you maybe move in together or try other things?
Yeah, so at the beginning of our relationship, when we actually ended up breaking up, so many people just told me, like, no, that was just your first love. You know, you'll have more to come. It'll get better. Somebody better is down the road. And I just I couldn't grasp that. And then they would take me back to like their first relationship and they'd be like, and I couldn't grasp it at the time either. And I get that because other people have different experiences, but I was just like, no, like I refuse to accept that. And I was just like, all right, I'll just go live my life, be by myself, and we'll see what happens 10 years down the road. But I was like, I'm not having a rebound or anything. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I just have never been able to see myself with somebody else because he fits like everything I ever wanted and so much more. And it's just like, I'm not going to step down from this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. You just had that instinct that he's it. Do you talk about moving in together?
Somewhat.
Okay.
All I'll say is it's been on the table as a suggestion, but that's all I'll say right now.
Do you think your parents would support that if you didn't have a ring on your finger or marriage?
I don't care if my parents would support anything that I do or not. And I feel like the point in my parents' relationship with me is kind of just like, they know I'm stubborn. I've been that way my whole life, and I've kind of just proved to them that I'm going to do my thing. And it's more just like, do we want her in our life, you know? Mm. So it's more, I would say, a more accepting point in the relationship where it's just, let's see what happens. You know, we can't control her anymore.
Okay. Now, for both of you, I know you're still young, but do you think about having big families? You obviously come from a huge family with a ton of siblings. Do you guys want lots of kids like that?
So no. I thought everything my parents went through with a whole bunch of kids, and I don't really want that. Mm. Maybe like 10 years down the road, I'll have one or two, but I'm not getting started early, and I'm not having bukus of them.
You're not having what?
Yeah.
Bukus of them, like a ton of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with one, see how that goes. 2, maybe. Probably cap it at 3.
Okay. So
I think I want to cap mine at 4. I want an even number, boys and girls. I don't want a middle child. I really don't, but we'll see what happens. But
hey, Mariah.
Yeah.
Mariah, what happened to like you wanting 26 kids?
Micah, shut that was back when I was like 10 and I didn't know any better. I thought everybody had big families or was trying to.
Back then you probably didn't even know what brought kids around.
I'm going to get you back for bringing that up, but
that'll be our headline. Mariah wants 26 kids.
That is not true.
It was.
No, but I want to say also, like, mom and dad had one brother, mom was a single child. So I looked at it like, they don't even know what it's like to be in a big family. They don't know how hard it is just being mixed in with everybody else and not being able to, like, be unique or whatever. Like, just wear the same thing, just do the same thing, just follow the line, like, follow the leader. You know, like, it's just, no, I don't like it. Yeah,
I didn't think about them coming from smaller families. So Micah, to go back to you a little bit in your dating life, are you on apps? Are you pursuing someone in particular? And if not, what are you looking for?
So I'm an open book right now. I'm playing around a little bit with dating apps, social media, stuff like that. However, I really like and value like the old-fashioned way of meeting someone, getting to know them in person. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's more. I feel like you connect a lot better, and you just have more of a chance, honestly, than a dating app. You're looking for someone. Oh, I think you're cute. Like, where does it go from there? Whereas, like in person, you can really get to know them before like what they want. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Did being on the show make it harder or easier for you to date?
Both.
Yeah.
There's honestly, like, yes, it's become easier in a way because my potential fame or whatever I have. But at the same time, it's like, are you talking to me or wanting to date me for me or because you want to get something from me? Mm-hmm. So in that sense, it's become harder. But it is what it is. I'm not in a hurry. Mm-hmm. So if someone comes along and they're just wanting to get something out of me, then they'll be on the road pretty quick. I'm not going to be too attached to them, hopefully. I'm hoping the right one comes along eventually, and I'll know it when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's good. I like that. Moriah, what kind of girl would you like to see for your brother?
That's a question you shouldn't ask.
I think that I think that he should end up with somebody that is not scared to get their hands dirty. But just because, like, I think he needs somebody that can kind of match, like, his model side, that his passion for that, and also the fact that he grew up in loving farming and that. So, like, somebody that can help him balance that. I don't know. I really don't know because I haven't given it much thought, but just somebody that loves him like he should be and sets him straight.
Do you get people sliding into your DMs on Instagram because they know you from the show?
Oh, yeah.
Both of you?
All the time. I thought you were going to say, do you get people sliding into your DMs asking about Micah and whether or not he's single? And I was also going to say yes.
That's funny. They're even going through you.
You probably get it more than I do.
What are some of the crazy things people send?
Oh, God. All right, you want to share?
Everything you can think of, yes.
Wow.
You go, Markle.
There's some of everything that gets caught in the DMs. A lot of stuff I don't necessarily try to open. And I'm just like, hey, thanks for your support.
Do you respond to some?
Every now and then. Honestly, I stay so busy. When I'm home, I'm working. When I'm off, I'm, modeling, traveling, working. And with all that, I mean, social media isn't the top on the list. And I'm not active very much. Mm-hmm. I try to be, but it never turns out that way. So,
okay.
Mariah probably filters her and responds to DMs better than I do. Is that true, Mariah?
I honestly rarely even read through mine, and then every once in a while I'll read through it. If it's somebody that I know, I will respond. But other than that, or if it's like a business opportunity or anything like that, I'll respond. But for all the fans, like, I wish with everything inside of me, I could go through and respond to every single one and say thank you. But I can't always do that. So
yeah. So speaking of your careers, how is modeling going, and will you flex for us, Micah?
Modeling is actually picking up.
Yeah.
It's picked up a lot in the past 6 months or whatever, 4 months. Started traveling a lot more. On this season, you will see some big news. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's some big news coming, and I'm really excited to see it picking up. I absolutely love modeling and traveling, and everything else that comes with it, meeting people, stuff like that. So,
can you do a little more for us? Yeah.
You want some flex?
Wow.
I would flex my abs, but I'm sitting down, so.
All right. Fine. We're on
So
Zoom.
we just see rolls, right?
Yeah.
All fake. And Moriah, how about you? Are you still pursuing a singing career?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me to flex, but yes.
Yeah, you want.
And there will be plenty of that coming on season 2. Just a lot of stuff that I'm so excited to share. So
You mean season 3?
Season 3.
Great.
What season is that? I don't know. Sorry. Yes, season 3.
So we have to talk a little bit about Lydia. It seems to me like I saw the first episode of the season. It seems like she got a glow up a little bit, wearing a little bit more makeup. She looks gorgeous growing up. Did you have anything to do with that, Moriah?
Lydia and I have had a couple sleepovers, and every sleepover I'm like, all right, let's do face masks. Let's, do lotion, like everything we can possibly think of for ourselves, and let's put some makeup on, whatever we want to do. So I may have influenced her a tiny bit in that area, but I also think she's kind of just growing up on her own. So yeah.
Would you like to see her branch out a little bit and maybe start dating?
Lydia is very accepting of my way of living, and she's very she's more open-minded than the rest of my family used to be, at least. But I still think that she's very just sticking to her own, what she believes is right. And I don't really see her stepping outside of that, but you never know. We'll see. I mean,
You never know.
I've seen some hints of her, oh, you didn't used to do that. And I think some of that is going to come on the show, but.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I really feel like she's become a lot more accepting and a little bit more open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be too surprised. I would be slightly surprised, but not too surprised if she did branch out, start, dating a little bit, figuring things out on her own.
Yeah.
Just being more independent. I love all of my younger siblings, except Moriah. No, I'm kidding. I love all of my siblings.
That's okay. I don't love you too.
Lydia is one of the most hardworking and kind of all of them.
She is.
I can tell. It's crazy. Whoever she ends up with is going to be a lucky guy.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
And if they take advantage of that hard work inside of her, I'm going to be after them.
This muscle is going to come in use. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. That's so funny. Do you ever, your younger siblings are too young to know what's going on. They probably don't fully understand that they're on a TV show. Do they ever watch the show? Do you guys ever show it to them?
Yes, they watch it, and it's funny because they'll talk to me about parts of it, and I'll just be like, yes, I did that, and whatever. But they'll also tell me about we're on a TV show, and sometimes we can't even watch our own show because it's not PG-13 or whatever in my parents' standards. So, and I just thought that was so funny. I was like, oh my god,
you guys,
they're making a show they can't even watch.
Do you have cables? Do you have cables, or do your parents have cables so they can watch it? Or
no?
I don't think so.
No.
They have the internet, so they can stream it off of whatever. But
yeah,
they don't watch. They still don't watch much TV. They'll watch some movies every now and then, but
okay, funny.
Yeah.
I always, as a viewer, I'm always curious why Hosanna's not on the show. Is that why is she not there? And are you guys close with her?
She is. Go ahead.
She got married at a young age and moved off with her husband and started her life somewhere else. And she didn't want to be on the show. And we were kind of all just it's her life. And, so I don't think that we talk sometimes, we keep in touch to some extent, but it's also she's across the country and, it would just be a hassle, and she doesn't want to be on the show. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you close with her, Micah?
To a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen her a couple times since she got married in 2019, I believe.
Okay.
So we're not super close. I'm planning on making a road trip soon to go and see them. So.
Okay, cool. And they're in Ohio?
Yes.
Cool. So we have to talk a little bit about Ethan and Olivia, that whole situation. I know that you guys are still pretty close with them. Is that right? How often would you say you see them?
I see them 3 or 4 times a week normally. They still live right down the road from me, so yeah. We hang out every now and then. Ethan likes to play pranks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks living so close to him, you know.
He scared Michael one time. He scared me. I would just come out of the bathroom and he'd just be in the house just behind a doorway or something, and he'd jump out and I'd scream. I love it though. I love when he comes over, but yeah. I probably see them I don't know, all the time. Anytime where we want to hang out, we'll just hang out for a while.
Are you and Olivia still close?
Yes, very much so.
Cool. Do you guys, as you know, you're very much the middle ground in the family. Do you want to see them bury the hatchet and forgive your parents and vice versa, have your parents forgive them?
Yes. I mean, ultimately that would be the ideal situation. I don't see that happening anytime soon. And part of me is also if it happens, that's going to look weird too. How is that going to happen? After, how long have Ethan and Olivia been married? 2018, so 3 years?
I think so.
About 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
After roughly 3 years of not talking, we can't just bury it all at once. It's going to take a long time.
What do you think would need to happen for that to happen?
I think pretty much everything would change.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
There's not really one thing that would have to happen. Okay. I feel like time is going to be the biggest thing. Maybe a little bit of growing on everyone's end and just realizing that grudges aren't the best. But I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. It's been like this for so long that it's
yeah.
What would a different life look like? What would a perfect family look like?
I just can't personally wrap my mind around them getting along. That's just so far-fetched to me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it'll never happen, and I have a feeling if they got to the point where I was we can talk again, I have a feeling there would still be some of, clashing and,
That's normal for every household, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, you and I.
Yeah, siblings fight, parents fight with their kids. Yeah. My biggest question since season 1 has been what happened at their wedding or leading up to their wedding that led to this rift? Because the wedding is referred to quite a bit. Is there anything that you guys remember leading up or at the wedding that happened that was that was the point where everything turned?
So I think a lot of it was my mom trying to make it her wedding almost. It was at her place. She had what she wanted to do. She's just, really excited. And I feel like that happens a good amount of times. Oh, yeah. But she probably went a little overboard, and Olivia definitely felt that way. Bad communications. I mean, I don't know exactly, but this is kind of what I've gotten from it. Just a whole bunch of things like that led up to a lot of frustrated and bad communications, just people not saying what they're going to do, doing things differently, doing things other people didn't want to do.
So much happened at the wedding and there was that was when Hurricane Michael came through, and it was an extremely stressful time. We didn't have power until an hour before the wedding. Wow. And that happened 3 days. So we went 3 days with no power, had to cook. There was so much stress. And so I feel a lot of people's true colors came out at that time, whereas oh shoot, that's not exactly how I thought they were, whatever. So in all the stress, then things just kind of got brought up, and that's kind of when everything got exposed, and it just didn't turn out how everybody expected it to turn out.
Yeah.
And being a bride, I kind of understand. I can't imagine all that going down on my wedding. I would probably lose it too. So
Yeah. No, totally. I used to work at a bridal store for 10 years, so I've seen it all when it comes to
I can't imagine how much like mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, all that drama. Like I just, God, it's watching my family go through all that, it just made me like, oh, do I even want to get married, or should I just like elope or something? Like, who knows? It's just a hassle, but whatever.
Yeah. Last question on that, and then I'll move on to the game. Sometimes it feels like they're way more accepting of you and Max than Ethan and Olivia. Do you understand that? Do you think that because of what happened with Ethan and Olivia, they're more accepting of you and Max? Does that make sense?
I think, yes. I think that it's a lot of different things. One being Max and I kind of established who we were and then went back to my parents. Mm-hmm. We didn't necessarily give them room to step in and control or give their advice or whatever. And I think that they more look at us as two adults making our own decisions, making our own mistakes, and it's not in their hands anymore. But to me, like, that sucks, because I wish that Ethan and Olivia could have had the same thing, you know? So
I feel like the whole family was in a different place then, though. So even if they were, it wouldn't have turned out the same like you and Max.
That's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good question, because I think about that all the time. I'm just like, why do they accept Max and I, and they, didn't for Ethan and Olivia, and why did things turn out for them in the complete opposite as Max and I? So,
yeah. It must be frustrating for them to watch on the show too, or because they're not seeing you guys every day anymore with your parents, to see them accepting Max and you. Yeah. Do you think the show overall was a good thing for your family?
I will say yes, because I would probably not be here right now if it weren't for the show. Honestly, I probably would have just ran away from home eventually and found a job somewhere and done what I could to make a living and figure it out. So without because watching yourself on TV gives you your own perspective of yourself. So I'm sure my parents kind of watched them and were like, because they definitely did kind of, she wants to go. Oh, okay, we'll let her go. So
I kind of feel like it really helped a lot of people if they watched it. A lot of people in our family just realized what they really look like and what other people think of them once they can, watch themselves. So I feel like it's been a good thing. Of course, there's been a lot of drama that's been picked up through the seasons we've done. Overall, though, I think it was a good thing. I'm glad it's happened, and we'll see how far it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's all I have. You guys were great. Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you
for having us.
Yeah, anything I left out? You're good? I think we're good. Okay, cool.
Andy, thanks so much.
Thank you, Nicole. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Bye.